Okay, so we're going to be doing pages 21 and 22 of the 5th grade ELA recovery packet. It's about prepositions and prepositional phrases. We didn't get to cover that much this year. I know in previous grades, I think third and maybe fourth, they cover prepositions. I've heard it taught, especially to the third graders. To introduce prepositions, they have them think of, say, a box, and they'll say whatever you can do in relation to that box is a preposition. You can be in the box, you can be under the box, you can be above the box, you can be beside the box, and that those words are prepositions. It's a little more complicated than that, but it's a good introductory start. So prepositional phrases would be the whole phrase that represents that begins with a preposition and then it ends with a noun, and that phrase would be a prepositional phrase. So the dog ran under the house. Under would be my preposition. The phrase under the house is a prepositional phrase. The object of my preposition is the noun that phrase ends with. So it would be house. All right, so they give us some guided practice, 5 sentences, and it says, underline the prepositional phrase in each sentence, circle the preposition, then draw an arrow from the object of the preposition to the word it relates to. So the first sentence they give us says, Emperor penguins breed in the winter. My preposition is in. So that whole phrase, my noun that it ends with is winter. So the whole phrase, in the winter. So I'm going to circle the word in. I'm going to underline the whole phrase, in the winter. And then it wants us to draw an arrow from the object of the preposition to the word it relates to. The word it relates to will be either a noun or a verb, usually right before that particular phrase, unless the prepositional phrase is at the beginning of a sentence, which does happen. So I'm going to draw an arrow from winter to the word breed. That's a verb. All right, guided practice number 2. Female emperor penguins lay eggs on the ice. On. On is my preposition. I'm going to circle it. On the ice, I'm going to underline that whole phrase because that's a prepositional phrase. Okay, what happens on the ice? Let's see, female emperor penguins lay eggs. Where do they lay them? On the ice. So I'm going to draw an arrow to the word eggs. Okay, guided practice 3. Males watch the eggs while the females travel to the sea. To would be my preposition. And then sea. So to the sea would be my object of the preposition. And I'm going to draw a line. So to the sea, I'm going to underline that whole thing. Then I'm going to draw an arrow from sea. What happens? They travel. So I'm going to draw the arrow to travel. And I'll put a picture of this up when we're finished. The warmth of the male's feathers protects the eggs. The warmth of the male's feathers protects the eggs. Okay, so my preposition, and this is where the box rule is not going to help you. My preposition is in the middle of the sentence. It's going to be of the male's feathers is my phrase. Of is my preposition, so I'm going to circle the word of. I'm going to underline the whole phrase, of the male's feathers. Not of the male's feathers. That feathers would be that ending noun. That's the object of the preposition. Now it wants us to draw a arrow from the object of the preposition to the word it relates to. See the warmth. Oh, this is an interesting one. The warmth of Oh, this is interesting. I'm a little unsure here. This is where I wish I had my teacher's manual, which I know I don't use in class, but I'd like to have it. Okay, so the warmth of the male's feathers protects the eggs. So my question is it the feathers related to protecting or to the warmth? And I'm going to say it's to the warmth. I'm draw an arrow there. The females return and provide food for the little chicks. my preposition. It's also another time where that box rule they teach in 3rd grade doesn't really work. The females return and provide food for the little chicks. For is my preposition. I'm going to circle it. For the little chicks is my prepositional phrase. I'm going to underline it. And then they want us to draw an arrow from the object of the preposition. That's going to be chicks to the word it relates to. And it's going to be the noun before the preposition, to the word food. I'm going to draw my arrow there. Okay, so now they give us some independent practice. Questions 1 through 5. It says, choose the prepositional phrase in each sentence. So question 1. Emperor penguins can be found on only one continent. On only one continent. That's my prepositional phrase. So that's going to be D. Now, here's what you have to do. When you have multiple choice with prepositional phrases, find the option that begins with the preposition. If they are part of the prepositional phrase but they don't begin with the preposition, that's not the correct answer. So on question 1, if you choose C, only one continent, it's wrong. You have to have D, on only one continent. A prepositional phrase begins with a preposition. So a good little thing to do probably over the summer and before you finish middle school, just memorize the prepositions. They're not difficult to memorize. You can use the box rule, but then find other words that don't fit with the box rule and memorize those, and you'll get the hang of it. Like I said, we had 44 maybe that we memorized in 5th grade. We had a little song that we sang, and it seems like a lot, but it's really not. All right, question 2. Antarctica's winter begins in late March. So in is my preposition. In late March is my prepositional phrase, and that would be C. Question 3. There are 17 types of penguins, and the emperor penguin is the largest. Okay, there are 17 types of penguins. We have a very short prepositional phrase. You have to have, in a prepositional phrase, you have to have a preposition and an object of a preposition. And that may be the whole phrase, and that's what we have, and it would be A, of penguins. All right, question 4. Most animals move to a warmer place each winter, but emperor penguins do not. What is the purpose of the underlined preposition? They underline the word to. Most animals move to a warmer place each winter, but emperor penguins do not. Is the purpose of the preposition to describe when animals move? Is it to connect warmer with animals? Is it to connect two phrases about winter? Is it to show a relationship between move and place? Okay. Here's what you do. Give you the preposition, ask yourself, what is the prepositional phrase, and take the phrase out, and it will show you what it's bringing together. And the answer is D, to show a relationship between move and place. Okay, next sentence. The feathers of the penguin keep out cold air and water. What is the purpose of the underlined preposition? So if I know the phrase of the penguin, I take it out and read that sentence. The feathers keep out cold air and water. So what's the purpose? Is it to connect feathers with cold? Is it to show a relationship between feathers and penguin? Is it to tell what a penguin's feathers do? Is it to show a relationship between penguin and cold? The reason any of them that say penguin would be wrong is because penguin is the object of the preposition. So the answer is going to be C, to tell what a penguin's feathers do. The feathers, take the prepositional phrase out, the feathers keep out cold air and water. Okay, so that would be pages 21, 22. See you later.